Welcome to part 2 of Formulas and Functions in Microsoft Excel 2007. Let us see how do we enter formula in Microsoft Excel 2007. To enter a formula, you need to use basic mathematical operators and like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And as we had seen in the part 1, any formula must start with an equal sign. You could also make use of parentheses to separate the parts of your function to give precedence of operators. And also good to know that you have an exponentiation operation in the form of the caret. Let us see an example of how do we use formula in a practical situation. Assume that you have a spreadsheet like this where you have marks of various students per subject given like this. You have 5 students and 4 subjects, and their individual marks are shown in the table in the spreadsheet. Now let's see if we need to calculate the total marks that a student has scored in all 4 subjects put together. How do we write the formula to calculate that? So the steps involved to do that are as below. As a step number 1, we need to click on the cell where the formula is to be inserted. So going by the first student total column, first student row and the total column, we go and click on the cell F2. The second step in doing so is to type equal to followed by the addresses of the cells to be added with plus operator in between. So we go and put an equal sign. As we all know, that is very essential when entering any formula. Without equal sign, the formula is never activated. Then we put the addresses of individual cells. So for example, B2 is the address for English marks plus C2 is the address for maths marks plus C2 is the address for science marks plus E2 is the address for computer science marks. So once we have put together all the cells the sum of which we require, you simply press enter, and there you go, you get the total marks obtained by the student Hammer in all 4 subjects put together, 361 out of 400. So to recap, you just click the cell where the formula is to be inserted, type equal followed by the addresses of the cells which need to be added, intersperse them with plus or addition operator in between, and then press the enter key. Now let us see, having obtained the total marks for one student, how do we repeat it for the rest of the students? How to add the marks for each individual student. We don't definitely want to repeat the step for each student. Instead, we can copy paste the formula that we have derived for the first student. So to do that, we will follow the mechanism of, we'll follow the steps to copy and paste the formula. So the first step to do that is to click the cell from where the formula is to be copied. So let's go back to our spreadsheet. So F2 is where we have already written down the formula. So let's click there. Then let's refer back for our second step. So it says click copy button in the clipboard group on home tab. So having chosen this, go to the home tab, click on the copy button in the clipboard group, right? So this is the clipboard group, font group, and so on. So in the clipboard group, you have a copy. So we click on that. It's one option. An alternative option is to right click on the cell and then click on copy from the shortcut menu that appears. So let's try that as well. So I'm going to escape out of this, click in the cell again and right click, and from the menu that comes up I click on copy. So whichever option you use, whether you use the copy option from the home tab or you use the right click context menu, the moment you click on copy, you can see a marquee or a moving line showing around the cell on which you did the copy from. Let's go back to our instructions to see what's the next step. So then after having copied it, we just need to click on the cell where the formula is to be copied. So we just click on the cell where we need to do copy that. And the next step is to click paste button in the clipboard group on the home tab or right click and paste from the shortcut menu that appears. So I'm just going to use paste from the home tab and there we go. So repeating this for the rest of the cells, we are able to get the marks for all the 5 students having copied the formula from student number 1. So this is a simple process by which we have obtained the total marks for each and every student. You can see that as I highlight individual students, the formula has appropriately been adjusted to sum up all the marks that he or she has got rather than the first row, which was the sum of the marks of student number 1. So the formula, when we did a copy paste, Excel was intelligent enough to adjust which all cells had to be added up to obtain the total. Now let us see how do we really find out the percentage of marks that each of these students have obtained. So the percentage of the total marks is obviously going to be the total marks divided by 400 multiplied by 100. So let us see how to calculate it using a formula on the spreadsheet and again how to copy paste it to the rest of the students. So we go back to the spreadsheet, do it for the first student, and once we obtain the results, we will do it for the rest of the students. So we look at the total. So once again, to start a formula, you click on the cell, put equal sign, and click on this cell on which we want to do the calculation. Then write the formula, so divided by 100, and I'm going to make use of parentheses here, not divided by 100, I beg your pardon, it should be divided by 400 because the total sum is out of 400 marks, and multiply by 100, and that should give us the percentage of marks that the student has obtained. And going by the copy paste technique that we learned, we will just do a paste of this formula into remaining 4 students so that we can get the percentage marks that each of them have obtained. Once again, you can see that the formula reflects the corresponding row and corresponding total for each student, and there is no crisscross of numbers across the students. Thank you for watching.